Good evening, good morning, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, my name is Max, and I will be your storyteller this evening for this inaugural episode of Vampire the Masquerade, New York by Night. And as is seems to be customary with the group, I will begin with a little soliloquy. New York, the city that never sleeps. In this concrete jungle of some 20 million souls, the clarion call to action to awaken and face the world anew comes in many guises. For some, it's an alarm clock heralding the start of another working day. For others, the aroma of fresh coffee and weed smoke in the apartment that was your home for last night. For others, it might be the sound of the garbage trucks coming to clean the streets of dirt and the dispossessed. For others, it's the soft murmurings of the woman next to you that you railed last night. But in the Big Apple, there are those who need no such call. They wake each night, not from the arms of Morpheus, but from the grip of death. And as the sun sets and hides its face on this most terrible of days, 4 names shall be added to the legions of the damned: the Nocturnals, the Nightcrawlers, the Orphans in the dark. Clark, we are going to begin with you. So if you want to unmute yourself, please. Okay. First off, a little bit of mechanics. On your sheet, mark that you are on 4 blood points. You are coming back to a hazy consciousness. The past few minutes are vague. You're not really sure what happened. You've got this sensation of horror, of fear, and pain. Your eyes are closed, but you are aware of movement. You appear to be moving, but as you start to come more and more to consciousness, you realize that, yeah, you're moving, but your legs are still emotionless. You also feel very heavy, your head feels very heavy. Where are you? +6, that's fine. Okay, yeah. If you didn't know better, you'd think you were being carried.
Okay, so it sounds like my hands are free to be able to.
Your hands are free. They're hanging loose. Mm-hmm. If you open your eyes, you can hardly see anything. All around you is this really thick, dense fog. You can hear the sound of running feet below you, if you like, across a gravel path, maybe. In your stomach, there's this kind of roiling, and you belch, and there's the strong smell of shawarma. But it doesn't smell right. You can smell it. You can smell all of the flavors and all of the textures, but there's something about it that just feels wrong. As this is going on, your stomach is knotting and tightening, and it's coming up. It's going to come out. You can't stop it.
I'm gonna, I guess, whichever direction feels like it would be away from the rest of my body, I'll turn my head to try and project the vomit away from myself.
Okay, yeah. So you're kind of having to kind of twist your neck at the first kind of retch and splurge. Um, you see some of it kind of spew out. It sounds like it's hit the shoe of the person who's carrying you. You hear this voice go, "Have you just fucking been sick on me?" You're gonna have to excuse the English accent. I'm sorry, it's not. It's an American accent, and whoever's carrying you throws you off their shoulder, and you hit the deck. You kind of fall backwards. You sort of on the ground, but part of you is kind of leant up against. You can feel cold stone at your back, and there's a large figure kind of looming above you. Again, the fog is so thick you can just barely make them out. The voice that spoke to you sounded gruff, sounded like a woman's voice.
I'm going to use my hands to investigate what's wrong with my legs, why they feel.
Now they
different.
feel fine. It just felt weird because obviously you were moving, but your legs weren't moving. That's what it was. But as soon as you're down, yeah, no, you can move fine.
All right. Then, is there any? Am I too weak to try and get to my feet?
No, you can get up.
No?
As I said, it's going to take. You had quite a big trauma, so yeah, it's a minute or so as you're retching and just throwing all of this stuff up. Thankfully, just very quickly, give me intelligence plus medicine.
So 2 plus 2, so 4.
Yep, difficulty 6.
Okay, so 1 success and 3 successes total.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Actually, wait, no, 2 successes. 2 successes. I'm sorry.
You got a 1, did you? Okay. So, yeah, you kind of realize that whatever's been going on can't have been that long after you were grabbed, because obviously the stuff hasn't gone through enough through your system for it to come out the other end as well. All come back. It's all come back up. But yeah, and in front of you, you can see through the mist, you can make out that free shawarma you got from the store on your way home from work. Mixed in with it, there's dark bits as well. There could be blood. You can feel the taste of bile in your mouth as well. The voice above you says, "Are you finished?"
I'll say, "Are you in a hurry?"
Yeah, whatever. You hear the sound of a scraping, like the sound of like something being broken, and you hear like a door being opened. Hand grabs your arm and pulls you to your feet. Get in there. Stay down. Stay quiet. I'll come and find you later. Pulls the door closed.
So I'll just shrug. I guess.
Okay, so you are in an enclosed space.
Any source of light to take in my surroundings?
No. Well, it takes you a few seconds as your eyes acclimatized to it. There's a short set of stairs, maybe about 6 steps, leading down to a stone floor. You can vaguely see on either side of you, if you go down and kind of feel them there, like stone sarcophaguses. The walls around you are maybe a foot or so to the other side of these sarcophaguses, and the whole thing is at most about 12 feet long. The steps down take you maybe a foot or so below ground level, and on either side there are frosted windows high up, with like metal bars on them. There is some light coming in through there, but not a lot. It's quite muted because of the fog outside. But there's enough filtering in that you can, as accustomed with, you can make out a bit more of your surroundings. You are obviously in some kind of mausoleum. Up on the windowsills, you can see a pair on either side, like a pair of sort of stone urns set on the windowsills, and it's quiet.
Okay. Well, just because I'll test the door behind me. Is it locked? Is
No,
there something for me to?
no, it's open. It's just been closed behind you.
Okay. Just peek out and see. Is this? I wouldn't know this place inside, but outside, is there something iconic? Like, is this
Outside,
a popular place? Like where people are buried or interned?
you would guess you must. Oh,
You know, like this is
you don't have anything like city knowledge or anything like that, do you? So it would be an intelligent.
okay.
Hold off on that one. Just hold that.
Sure.
Just hold that thought for a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, when you peek outside, it's difficult to see because the fog is so thick. What you can hear in the distance every so often, you hear what sounds like the shout of a voice. Was that the report of a machine gun? It's hard to tell. As you're doing this, give me a perception plus medicine roll.
So 5. So 6 is the baseline?
6.
All right, so a 6 and a 1, so they net 0. A 7 and a 7, so 2 successes, and then one more die roll is a 6. So 3 successes. Yeah.
So you're looking out. Again, you've got the impression that even just having thrown up in that, it's quite taxing on the system, and you're kind of breathing like heavily. And then you notice there's no breath coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, that the fog's not moving. You're saying as much as I past would should be. Yeah. Okay. I get you.
Exactly. And then
I'll
you
move
suddenly
my hand through the air and see if that displaces the fog.
That will move the fog, but definitely there's no there's no breath coming from you.
I'll very intentionally do this number. Try to move the air.
No, nothing happens.
Nothing happens, huh?
It suddenly strikes you as well. You've been conscious maybe now for about 4 or 5 minutes. You suddenly realise you haven't blinked once in the past 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is very bizarre, but also where I'm at is also that I don't know. That feels maybe like a lesser crisis to the fact that I've been kidnapped. That feels like something to file away for another day.
You think you can hear feet running not too far away from you.
Running, and does the sound?
It's not running towards you, but it's like running in the distance somewhere, sort of across from you.
Okay. I'm gonna slink then along the building and hope that there is a place to safely observe, through sight and sound.
So you're going to leave. So you're going to leave the crypt.
All my senses tell me that this is where I die, so I am going to resist that destiny as much as I can, and I'll go around the side of the building, and yep.
Okay. We will come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
If I can ask you to mute yourself, please. And we will go to Chris.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hello.
So, in a not dissimilar fashion, you come to your senses. There's an impression of lingering pleasure, as if you've just had a very intensely pleasurable, bordering on erotic experience. It's strange as the fact, but it's also tempered with an increasing awareness of your current surroundings. Your eyes are open. You cannot see anything. It is pitch black and like absolute blackness all around you, and it feels. You can feel it pressing and undulating across your body. You're flat on your back. You can feel wet grass dampening the back of your head. And
can I move my hands at all?
You can move your hands. There is
so
just
if I put my hands out, do I feel blades of grass? Does it feel like soil? Like wet soil?
You can feel wet soil. You can feel wet grass. If you stretch your hands a bit further, you can pick up like a clump of soil, of loose soil.
Okay.
But all around you and above you is just this cloying blackness that's just, as I said, it feels like it's pressing against you. In some places, it almost feels like you can feel the cold under your skin.
So it's basically it's like an undulating shadow rather than my vision seeming like my eyes are closed.
It feels like you are immersed in this. Yeah.
Okay.
You also can't hear anything.
What about smell?
Apart from the ground, apart from the wet grass and the earth,
mm-hmm.
Yes, you can smell blood.
I start poking around on myself for any kinds of open wounds or does anything feel tender or
No, nothing feels particularly tender.
Okay.
You
no crinks in my neck, no nothing, no muscle tenderness.
No. Sorry, almost forgot. Okay. Yeah, so you two are on 4 blood points. No.
Okay, so
but when you smell this blood,
mm-hmm.
something inside of you kind of twitches, and you're feeling pangs of hunger like you've never felt before.
Am I able to gauge how far away from me the blood is based on the sense of smell?
No.
Like, is it a faint smell? Is it a little bit further away? Is it just like a copperish taste in the back of my mouth? Like maybe I bit my tongue or it's my own blood?
There is a coppery taste in the back of the mouth, but this you can smell is external to that. At one second, you're pretty sure it's maybe a couple of feet away, and then the next second, it feels like it might be, half a mile away. Well, not that far, but like 10 feet away.
It feels like it's moving back and forth.
Yeah. But again, you can't tell because sometimes it seems to be in time with the roiling of this blackness, so you don't know whether it's that's playing on your senses or whatever, but there's definitely something out there.
All right, if I'm on my back, I'm going to reach my hands out and grab 2 lumps of soil and just throw it up in front of me to see if it hits anything in the murky shadow.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to make a roll for that. You just go.
Yeah.
One.
See if it moves, if it moves at all. Or...
It does move. It moves through it, but it's weird. As you throw it, It's like it's meeting resistance. It's flying away from you, but very slowly, a lot slower than it should do. As you do that, this hand, as you throw this way, brushes something, and there's a suggestion of movement, and you feel a hand grab your wrist. And
well, if it grabs my wrist, can I grab it while it's grabbing my wrist?
yeah.
So that I'm holding onto something tangible that's also holding onto me.
Perfect. There's like you're vaguely aware of like something fumbling in the dark as if trying to find the rest of you almost. And you feel a hand finds your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You're again aware of a body kind of moving close, and you just hear coming closer as it gets almost like this far away from you. You can hear this growling, and
am I able to determine if it's the same thing grabbing onto me or something separate?
It's the same thing that's grabbing onto you.
Okay. Well, he's got me, and I got him. Can I bite it?
You can have a go. You are going to be at penalties because of where.
Because obviously, I'm not aware that I'm a vampire yet. But if if something is physically holding on to me, that means it's something that can be physically possibly bitten into.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you can certainly have a go. So that's going to be your Dex plus Brawl. The difficulties are increased though, so it is going to be a difficulty of 8.
Okay. And am I still at a -1 willpower from the prequel?
Yes, you are.
Okay, let me just mark that. I know I do that to myself all the time. Don't remind the GM that you got penalties for shit. All right. You said got to get 8s.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I got 2 successes.
Okay. This thing isn't expecting it, so yeah, you. So what you just trying to like bite its arm or something, or
yeah, just basically to give it, to see if it's something that I can my human. Well, again, I don't know I'm a vampire yet, but obviously there's some weird shit going on, and my fight or flight response is always fight. So
fantastic.
You know what I mean? If you're going to growl in my face, I'm going to let you know. I'm not just going to roll over and let you fuck me in the ass.
Yeah, so you grab hold of this thing's kind of like forearm, you bite into it. There's like you find yourself biting through like a light shirt to go into its arm. And as you bite into it, these things just drop down straight out of your mouth and dig even deeper. It should be a howl of pain, but again, the sound here is so muted. It sounds like it's coming from a long way away. As you bite into it, there's a rush as this thick, dark liquid rushes into your mouth, and it feels good. It feels amazing.
But you said there's no reaction from whatever grabbed me.
As I said, it sounds like there might be some kind of a scream, but it's so hard to tell what's, sound and everything is so muted and it's kind of coming in weird waves. You are vaguely conscious of it looks like something has just passed your face, like somebody's just, like whatever it is, has just tried to slap you off, but missed.
Okay.
But if you wish to carry on sucking, you can do. You are really hungry. You've never been so hungry, and this tastes amazing.
Do I have to roll to be freaked out that I don't have sharp canines? Or
yes, you can make a this would be a self-control.
If this was really me, I wouldn't give a shit. But this is the character. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. All right.
Give us a self-control roll.
Okay. Okay. So what's the challenge? I guess for the self-control.
So this is first time situation.
And I only got 3 dots in that.
You only got 3 dots.
My courage is 4.
No, this is about. No, it's gonna keep as a self-control. I'm gonna make it difficulty 7.
Okay.
I'm looking for 2 successes.
Oh, you're only gonna get 1.
Okay, so you can. So we will say that you can add an extra blood point to your current blood pool, but what you've just done and what you've experienced freaks you out enough that you let go and you kind of back away.
Okay.
And I will come back to you in a moment.
Okay, so just add that to my starting blood
Just
pool.
add that to your starting blood pool.
I didn't frenzy, right? So I don't have to worry about.
No, you're good. You're good. But that you're kind of more shocked at how good that felt. You're aware of this thing obviously trying to as you kind of like backing up away from it in shock, these 2 hands come and kind of find you and grab hold of your legs as you've sort of backed away. And that's where we'll leave you for the moment. I'll come back to you in a second. Next we will go to Derek.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Somebody has hold of your hand or has hold of your arm and is dragging you along behind them. Similar kind of thing to Karis. You are in an area of absolute pitch darkness. You can't hear anything. As I described it for Chris, you can feel this pressing against you all around you. You're aware of again wet grass underfoot, but it's almost like the blackness surrounding you. It's almost like it's alive, and it's pressing on you and caressing you, and maybe you hear strange things, but you're not even sure if you heard them or if you're imagining it. And then you're out of it, and you are in what you can see. You're running out of the darkness into a very thick but natural fog. What little you can make around you is obviously the ground is covered in grass, and you are vaguely aware of headstones around you. There is a figure in front. There are 2 figures ahead of you. As you run around, you're still dazed. Again, similar to Chris, you have this feeling of having experienced some kind of transcendental experience, again, bordering on erotic. And you are on 5 blood points.
So I say, What did you guys drug me with?
You hear this voice that sounds familiar to you. Says, "Oh, the best drug in the world. Now keep your mouth shut." Just give me 2 seconds. I don't want to be there. With you. So again, I will be putting these in Discord. These two figures. Can you see Discord?
Mm-mm. Give it just a brief description.
Okay, so do you remember from your prelude there was the guy dressed up in like a 50s zoot suit with a quiff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with you. He's the guy who's holding your hand. And then there was the guy who looked like the punk guy, the British guy. Yeah. Yes, yeah. So he's got hold of you, and then the British guy's with you as well. They whip you, sort of pull you around by your arm, and then throw you down onto the ground, hiding behind some headstones.
So I'm gonna take a look around. I want to feel in my cargo pocket, see if those cigarettes are still there.
Would they have taken them? Odds or evens? How are you feeling?
The odds are in my favor.
I'm afraid they're not. They took them.
Hey, if I gotta sit here, do one of you guys have a cigarette at least?
Shut your fucking mouth, kid. That's Hugh, the guy with the quiff talking. It's really odd as he's talking to you. I mean, you know what this guy, you've seen what this guy can do. And yet you feel well disposed towards him. You didn't before, but you do now.
You mean, what do you mean well disposed?
He's like a good friend.
Oh, okay. All right.
And this is something for everybody. I mean, obviously, you'll need to specifically who we'll come to as we go. But, and it's the one thing that people seem to forget sometimes about vampire, all vampires are one stage bloodbound to their sire. The more bloodbound you become, the more of a thrall and the more in love with that person you become. It doesn't mean that you might absolutely hate them, but you're emotionally driven to be well disposed towards them.
All right. So I look at him and I'm just going to try to appeal to him then, instead of being what's the word I'm looking for? Instead of being demanding, like appealing to him, like, come on, man, do you have a cigarette? I really need one.
Oh. Laureate, yeah, all right. The English guy throws you a pack of Marlboros. They're your pack of Marlboros.
I take it out and I light it.
Okay, so these two guys are, fuck's sake, Hugh, what the hell are we going to do? I mean, how many of them are there out there? I don't know. Just keep your head down and we'll get out of this.
What are you guys looking for?
Somewhere off in the distance, you hear the sound of automatic gunfire.
Fuck.
That's what I said. Keep your head down. Through the fog, you hear somebody say, Bell, is that you? Oh, Laureate goes, oh, fucking hell, Theo Bell, are you fucking kidding me?
Who the fuck's
What
that?
the? A bad motherfucker you don't want to be dealing with? Right. This is what we're going to do. And I'll come back to you in a minute.
All right.
Mr. Tate.
Right. My crappy Andrew Tate accent sounds Australian.
There you are, conscious of the past. There's the rushing of air past you. You feel like you are falling as you come to your senses. Again, this really strong sense of some deep experience that you've just been through, that you're coming out of a reverie from it. And in your case, it was absolutely 100% erotic in the way that you feel, or the way that it felt.
Do I have wood?
No.
Sucks about being a vampire, but go on.
But yeah, so, and you're aware that you feel like for a second, it feels like you're floating in the air, and then it's like, no, I'm falling, and bang, you hit the dirt, literally hit the dirt, with a shudder, and you are also conscious of 2 or 3 bodies landing nearby you. One of them's probably fallen across your lower limbs, and you're again flat on your back, staring up. You appear to be in what can only be described as a mass grave. You are about 6 feet. You can see the ground. Well, you should be able to see the ground. All you can see right up for about 6 feet up, just barely, and then above that is just pitch blackness. You can feel the earth under your hands. You are aware of movement nearby. You can hear somebody going like this, very, very, and probably a couple of feet away from you. Somebody is spazzing out in a big way.
Bag over my head?
You do not have a bag over your head, and you are not bound.
Rolling this sucker off my legs. Try and stand up.
Yeah, you kind of pull yourself to your feet. You are very nice. You are on 6 blood points.
Oh, hey. All you 4-point losers.
It's really hard to see down here. Again, it's very, very dark. There are, as I said, you can make out about 2 or 3 bodies. The one that seems to be freaking out jumps up to its feet, turns around towards you, and comes like my top, leaping straight at you.
Roll to knock him on his ass.
Give me an initiative roll. So that's wits plus alertness, difficulty of 4.
So 2 wits and alertness is 1. Okay, so 3. Difficulty of 4.
Sorry, I'm going to make it a 5 because it is pretty dark in here. So
okay, well, 2 successes and a fumble. So
1 success.
Yep.
And I got 1 success as well, but your dex is probably higher than theirs.
3.
Okay. Yep, go. So coming leaping straight for you.
So brawl plus dexterity. So 6.
Again, I'm going to up the difficulty because of the darkness down here. So you're looking at 7s.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I get 1 success and only 1 exploding dice, which doesn't explode. So 2 successes.
Not yet. 2 successes. Fantastic. Doesn't even bother trying to dodge or anything. So that's going to be strength damage. So 3 dice, difficulty 6.
What would I say? 3, difficulty 6. 2. 2 points of damage.
2. Okay, which is just 1. So what are you doing? You're punching them? Yeah,
oh, yeah,
sure,
right,
yeah.
Right in the nose. Boop.
Okay. Staggers a bit. You hear the break. You hear its nose break. But barely halts it. It tries to swipe his hand across. Tries to slap you across the face. And misses completely. You can hear Another one of these people that you're down here with starts as well. There's another body as well. You see, you hear this one. So whoever it is, it was the person who was on your legs. Grabs hold of the legs of the thing that's attacking you. Quick, hit it again!
Roll to kick him in the teeth.
Okay. So again, so with the increase in difficulty, it's going to be difficulty 8. Also, because you are in restricted, you're in a confined space.
I do have 1 success.
Fantastic. That's enough. So roll your strength and add 1. You get 1 automatic success because it's a kick for the damage. So roll your strength.
No, just the 1 success then.
Okay. So give me as well a perception plus alertness roll.
Perception is 2, alertness is 1. Difficulty,
It's going to be a 7.
1 success.
Okay. You're
I can't see anything with these. Ooh,
you're
color.
somewhere down to your left side. You're aware of a movement that's nothing to do with the people that you are down here with. The other thing that you do notice as well, obviously you've just punched this guy in the face. You've just kicked this guy after having dropped apparently 6 feet into the ground. You don't feel tired. You don't feel like you're out of breath or anything at all. In fact, you're not. Oh shit! You're not breathing.
Yeah, in a fight, it wouldn't be the highest priority, but yes. Plus, I do cardio all the time, as Andrew Taint. So, it's just adrenaline. It's just adrenaline. That's all it is.
Okay, fantastic. But yeah, you're aware of some kind of movement off to your left. That's nothing to do with these people.
Hands up and I look.
You see the earth kind of pushes itself apart, and you see what looks like a pair of hands coming out of the earth, kind of pushing the packed earth of the grave aside, and you hear from somewhere behind it, deeper into the earth, come to help, come! And you see the hands beckoning towards you.
Oh, okay. So it's not Karis. I don't have to put my hand down there and let him bite me.
No.
That's what I would do. He wants me to follow him?
It's hard to hear with the voice, but the voice sounds female.
Oh, well, I'm used to chicks always coming to dig me out of trouble. So you know what? Oh, hold on. I actually got drumsticks around here somewhere. But anyway, yeah, you get it. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I jump in.
Okay, you start pulling the earth aside, and I will come back to you in a minute. In fact, if I can have everybody muted, as the one thing that, well, I suppose you two would have had, as we very briefly roll the clock back, about 10 to 15 minutes. We are in Woodlawn Cemetery in the northern area of the Bronx. It's approaching midnight on the 11th of September 2001. Each of you earlier in the evening has had an encounter of some description. Most of you are currently unconscious, and what the camera shows is a section of the graveyard, and we see a number of vehicles pulling up to it. There is an old, battered, late 70s school bus with blacked out windows. There's a equally beaten up van like the A-Team van. Across the side of that van, in graffiti writing, it says "After Dark." Along one side of the bus, in a similar kind of graffiti style, it says "Dog Sucking." That's sucking without the G on the end. And as they converge in the cemetery, there's also a couple of other vehicles here as well. There's already some people here. Each of you, those who were unconscious, are kind of slapped awake, and you feel yourselves being dragged out of your respective vehicles and are lined up on your knees in the graveyard, the bags pulled off your heads. You can see those of you who haven't seen the other things, you can see the other vehicles around you. There's a couple of other nondescript cars not too far away. There is a freshly dug mass grave with a massive pile of earth off to one side, and one of the little cemetery diggers is set there as well. I will now, for those of you who can see, put up some more pictures. So those are those you can see those two people that I put up there before. This is the selection of people that are around you. There are a couple of other people that seem to be already here. Sorry, I'll just let Clark do that. So for Derek's benefit, thank you, Clark. And as I said, you are dragged. There are the four of you. There are at least, actually not at least, there are, hang on a second, my maths has gone to sleep. There are 7 others as well who are all on their knees. If you kind of look along, there's a wide mix of people. There's a woman who looks like she must be pushing 70. There's a guy in a traffic cop's outfit, uniform outfit. There's a kid, probably no more than 15. One of them, next to you, Derek. For the other guy's benefit, you see there's a guy. He's got very kind of roughly stubble, and he's quite pale, sweating, gripping his arm, which is just from this point below, is just swinging, like swinging in an angle it is not supposed to swing in. And he's down. Cal is down on his knees next to you, Derek, and he's kind of quietly whimpering to himself. One of the people that's brought you here so kind of walks behind him and just kind of flicks him on the back of the head. Shut up, little chicken. The people around you are kind of talking amongst themselves. You hear the sound of a motorbike approaching, and one final figure appears. You see this guy come riding up on his bike. As he pulls up and gets off his bike, all of the others turn and nod at him. Obviously there's a sense of deference towards him. The only one who doesn't, or the only one who seems to show any kind of almost begrudging kind of nod to him is the guy with the quiff, who actually is the first one to speak. He goes, "Oh, Garvin, you made it, you dirty greaser." "Yeah, fuck you." "So, You got quite a good haul for tonight, then. Yeah, well, you know, we do our best. Okay, Pastor, can we have some cover, please? Well, verily you can. The guy dressed up as a priest. He goes, "All right, pilgrims, watch the magic." And he holds up his hands and closes his eyes and starts muttering under his breath. Oh God, that's good. And maybe also about sort of 15, 20 feet from this kind of area where you are, you just see a thick fog in a big ring around you just rise up out of the ground, up to a height of about 20 feet.
What the hell is going on here?
The guy who was on the bike just comes up and looks at all of you. Looks along the line, kind of just takes a look. Doesn't say anything to any of you, just kind of looks at you. Do you think there's any truce about amongst this lot? There might be one or two. Right. But before we start, I do have some unsettled business. So the guy in the zoot suit walks over to where you are, Derek, Sam. I'll call you by your character's name. This is better. Gives Cal a very sharp kick in the guts. This is what you get for messing with us, you little shit. Hugh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yeah, well, it's a bit fucking late for that now, isn't it? 2 years too fucking late.
I say under my breath, sure is easy to kick a guy on the ground.
Sorry, did you say something, little chicken?
Yeah, easy to kick a guy on the ground.
Yes, it is. And you know what's also easy? Meting out justice when it's due. Puts one hand on Cal's shoulder, grabs him by the hair. Grabs him by the hair, pulls. You can see in wrench. You can see like the color very briefly flashes to his face, and rips his head off. There's this massive font of blood shoots out. You get covered in blood, and he's holding his head up as it's dripping into his mouth.
What the fuck?
I'm going to need courage rolls from everyone, please.
Oh, yeah.
Where's that at?
So courage is under your virtues. Should be on the about halfway down on the right-hand side of the sheet.
There we go. Okay.
What's our difficulty?
Unnatural situation. We're going to make it. I'm going to make it a 7.
1 success.
2 successes.
Okay.
We're just rolling straight courage, right? Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay, I got 2 successes.
Fantastic. You all not only hold your lunch, but you all manage to not freak out and try and run away. One of the other people that was with you tries to get to their feet, and one of these guys is there automatically and pushes him back down. He just throws the head into the open grave and just leaves his body there to piss blood. At the moment he does that, though, anybody, once you've kind of recovered yourselves, you see all of the other people that are around him are all like kind of looking. Some of them are licking their lips, but all of them hold their place.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So is there anyone in that crowd that doesn't look pleased at what this guy just did? Possibly
Doesn't
pissed off rather than
okay. So give me
because remember
perception plus
my
alertness.
perception is ridiculous.
Yes, perception plus alertness, please.
Perception and which
And alertness.
perception and which one?
Alertness. Top of the talents.
Okay,
Should
so
be
that'll be 7 altogether.
7 altogether.
Yeah.
No, I am going to make you roll. I'm looking for 2 successes because of the situation you're in. You can see a lot, but obviously you are. It's at night. You're in a cemetery. You're probably still kind of slightly adjusting to the light because you've had a bag on your head all of this time. But yeah, and you're kind of like trying to scan around you. So yes, but obviously your perception is 4. I know you've got specialities on that, so they do count. So your
No, my
roll will.
perception is 5.
Well, it's more than 4. It's more than 4 though. So your specializations will apply. So your 10s will explode if you get any.
Okay, and what's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 7. I'm looking for 2 successes at least.
Okay. Okay, so well, you have 4 successes.
Fantastic. So, from the pictures, the big, chunky-looking chick with the short, dark hair. Yep. She's the only one who kind of visibly shudders and kind of looks away.
Okay, but no one that looks like they're like pissed.
Nobody looks pissed off.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the only one you notice who has a particularly negative reaction to what he's just done. Okay. Most of the others are either nonplussed by it. A few of them are kind of chuckling to themselves. The only other one possibly is the guy who was on the motorbike, who he referred to as Garvin. He just kind of rolls his eyes, but that's it.
So he's more kind of like, like not disgusted, but like really really.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Store that for later.
Okay, so he turns to the guy in the zoot suit, who apparently is called Hugh. Turns out, you done? Yeah. That's just settling an old score. Right. Okay. Well, before we get this on, has everyone picked their meal for today? You see. Oh, second. Some of these guys start moving behind the lot of you as you're lined up on the ground. The big black guy in the jacket steps up behind you, Karis, and grabs you by your collar, and just says, "Yep, I brought a packed lunch. You're muted, buddy."
If it's possible for me to roll over so I can.
No,
a different guy. The guy looks like he's from the Fifth Element.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So
he grabs hold of.
If he grabs hold of me, I want to try and like do my best to look him right in the face, because I remember from the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just tell to him. I'll say to him is like, "Remember my face, dog eater."
He kind of smiles at you, and he looks at the other, and goes, "Huh? It looks like my packed lunch is a spicy one." And they all kind of chuckle amongst themselves.
And I'll even turn my neck so that he sees I'm not afraid. Get it over with, bitch.
He kind of just stares back at you and he kind of gives an approving nod. The English guy, Laureate, kind of as he walks past you, Ken, he kind of gives you a nudge and goes, "Oi, Sandra, are you going to finish what you started in the alley with?" Yeah. Yes, yeah. Are you going to finish what you started in the alley with our paramedic here? And the slim woman with the blonde hair just looks at you, Ken, and goes, "Nah, I'm not in the mood for Chinese tonight. I think what you said in the van. I think the panda should have it. I think it's time that time that our clanless friend here popped her cherry." Yeah, and she's kind of like, "Yeah, all right," and walks over and stands behind you, Clark. The slim blonde woman starts walking along the line, looking at each of you. Stops in front of you, Mr. Taint. Now that you see her a bit closer, you notice that above her left eyebrow, in a band that disappearing up into her hairline, is what looks like a band of scales. They're green and a coppery color as they catch the light.
This is the platinum blonde chick?
Yeah.
Well, I had a feeling if it was anybody, it was going to be you.
She kind of looks around at the others and then looks back at you. Leans down, feels the quality of your jacket. Yeah, I think I can humble a misogynist today. And the guy in the zoot suit turns to you, Derek, and says, "You've got guts for a squishy human. Yeah, I can make you my bitch, you little chicken."
I ain't nobody's bitch.
Well, we'll see about that in a few minutes, won't we?
Fuck.
Yeah, all right. So the guy who's on the bike, Garvin, goes, "Right, let's get this on the road. Who's going first? Laureate or Pastor? Who wants to go first?" And Laureate goes, "Yeah, all right, I'll do it." "Okay, let's seal this deal with, well, give us a poem." He goes, "All right, give me a second, I've got to think. Okay, let's do something, I don't know. Oh, here we go. How's this? You useless lumps of meat, hearts pumping to the beat, hot blood for us to eat till we're replete." And they all go, "Yay! We'll let you have a sup. You make you even lap it up like the good little pups that you are." Yeah, I'm not so sure about that bit. "And you know what? How's that? Now you're Sabat, brutal motherfuckers." And that's that. And there's a round of applause from them and stuff. And then the guy in the priest's outfit steps up.
I clap too. Like a really blatant, like really slow, like Klingon clap from fucking Star Trek.
The traffic cop that's there just goes, "You guys are fucking insane. You're gonna do so much time. You're all going down. You're all..." Somebody slaps him around the side of the face. "Quiet."
Sandra, if you'd like to go down.
She just kind of, with her foot, brings it up slowly between your legs and jangles your nuts and says, "If you have any feeling down there, well, you're gonna miss it."
That's the second time someone tried to make me a eunuch tonight.
That's the one guy who's missing. I couldn't do a picture of him because none of the AI things will allow you to put somebody in. If you put the term in fat, it deems it as being offensive and won't do it. So that's the other guy who is there. Is this massive bloke? He's probably about 25 stone. He's got a very kind of simple look to his face. He's wearing dirty clothes, almost rags. Compared to when you first saw him, he's now wearing a bright red wig with pigtails.
Just for everybody who's watching, Max here did a solo mission for each one of us, but we didn't record them. It was only about a half hour long or so. It was for more mortals to get to this period here. It was very brief, though.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, he's standing off to one side. He's about the only one who doesn't look like he's going to have a snack tonight. But the pastor steps up. He's holding a little book in his hand, which he opens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on these occasions, it is customary for us to give thanks, and to give thanks to He who we all owe our existence. We give thanks to the great Lord Cain for the gift of immortality. We give thanks to the great Lord Cain for this wonderful selection of food that he has provided for us, and that we, in our beneficence and our munificence, shall introduce into our cult of the night. Can I all get a yay for Cain? And there's a ripple of yay. Brother Gregor, will you bring forward the chalice of excrement? And the big guy goes over to the bus and comes back with this dirty, stained silver chalice with a lid on the top of it. And he goes along the line to lift up the lid. As he takes it off, there's this horrible smell of shit and sick. And he goes along the line and marks each of you with an excrement inverted cross on your foreheads.
Shit's just nasty.
Fine, I'm not in the mood anymore.
What are you, the poo-poo pope?
The poop. That's a new one, Pilgrim. Thank you very much. I think I'll have to remember that. Put that in the diary with you. The poo-poo pope. And as he smiles, you see two fangs in his mouth. Brothers, sisters, those who are about to die, I salute you and feast! And you are all set upon by your respective sires. You feel teeth piercing your skin at your throat. There's probably a moment of terror, but as soon as the kiss starts, you feel again this intense ecstasy. You are carried away with it. There's slight variations. Andrew, for yours, she pulls your head back to one side. You see her tongue die out of her mouth, and it's a forked tongue that kind of licks across your skin as before she bites. For Karis, it's a bit more perfunctory. It's like pull to one side, hum. But again, as soon as the experience starts, it's pleasurable and you feel caught up in it. For Sam, there's definitely a sense of gloating about it. as he bites down on your neck. But again, for you as well, as soon as you start feeling your blood, your life draining away from you, you get caught up in the ecstasy of it. Ken, the big lady, her name is Jem, kind of grabs hold of you. It's a bit slower than the others. You hear somebody off to one side going, "Come on, Jem, hurry it up. What is it? You worried about being a mom or something? I mean, you shouldn't be with those hips." A couple of other people chuckle. She kind of holds you tight, and she's almost like holding you like a child. And just as she's going to bite, you hear her whisper, "I'm sorry." And as she bites into your neck, your experience isn't pleasurable at all. It's terrifying. You can feel the pain. You feel every drop of blood being sucked out of you. You are in the grip of the damned, as it were. You can struggle and fight, but she's having to hold you. And this goes on for several seconds as you feel your life force being drained away. You are each released, and you are just suspended between life and death. And the next thing you know, there is warm, thick, viscous liquid dripping into your mouths. For for Karis and for Sam, it's you feel an arm, a wrist being pressed against your mouth, being forced into it. For Andrew, it's a couple of drops on your lips, down your throat, and then she's just sat there a couple of feet ahead of you, making you crawl for it. Come on, little boy. Come on. Come and get it. You know you want it.
She's having fun with this.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair. I'm a somewhat controversial figure.
You're the adventurous type. Yeah, this is different. For Ken, again, there's this sense. It's more like suckling a child, is what you feel. It's almost like from the horror of being drained, it's almost like a balm against that as you're being offered this blood to drink on. And those of you who haven't already experienced it, in the aftermath of which you get this horrible sensation as your body dies. Anybody who had anything in your system, it comes out. It comes out both ways. If it's been long enough. And there's almost like for each of you, there's a moment of almost absolute calm as you feel this change going on in your bodies. Karis, you're lying on your back. You're aware of your sire, of Rashid, standing over you, looking down at you. Just off to your peripheral, you can see where the bus is parked, and you can see one of the other figures, not one of the ones that's here, but another one of the figures is standing on top of the bus, kind of looking around. And then he's not there. If you want to,
I was just going to say, I'm guessing that I'm still kind of in this semi-euphoric state,
Yeah.
so I can't really trust.
You can't really trust what you can't really trust what you're seeing, especially if what you saw was right. What you think you saw was what looked like a pair of claws grip this guy's shoulder, and he just disappears off into the night.
Oh.
And again, you're hearing, and again, the rest of you who may not have seen this, but you can hear this. You think And again, it must be the experience that you're going through, but it sounded like the flapping of wings. And then all of a sudden, there's the sound of gunfire. A flashbang goes off, blinding everybody. Andrew, you feel somebody grab you and throw you. And then suddenly, there's nothing beneath you. There's empty air. Derek, your sire grabs hold of your wrist and drags you off. I said drags you off, not pulls you off. It grabs you and pulls you off your feet, or pulls you to your feet and starts running. Ken, Jem picks you up, throws you over her shoulder, starts running. You can hear shouts in the fog, and then everything for Andrew and especially for Karis, everything just goes black. And we now move back to where we were in the present. Okay, who wants to go first? Okay. So, you know what happened before. You know where you are now. You are now pushing your way through the earth. There's this pair of hands. I mean, now you can't see them, but you're just aware of the movement. You feel this hand actually reach out and grab hold of you, try and grab hold of you to pull you along. It's thin. It's a bony hand. You can feel broken nails, and a god-awful stench as well. And you're pushing your way through, you're not sure, maybe 5-10 feet through this packed earth. You're vaguely aware that there's somebody crawling behind you. You think it's the guy who grabbed the legs of that thing that attacked, the other vampire that attacked you. And eventually you stumble out and you are in some kind of catacomb. No, it's not a catacomb. Maybe like a storm drain or something. You're not sure. There is a figure there holding up a very rudimentary mobile phone. So it's just the light from the screen on the phone that's illuminating this thing. You can't see a lot, but what you can see is
I think we broke Max.
Did you? No,
What do
you
we
didn't.
see?
I've just sent it to you.
Oh. No, my cat is a Nosferatu. You can't just send things like that. Gee.
I got your fat guy with the thing.
Hey! Oh, that's brilliant. Nice. Well done, buddy.
It's not very good. It's a quick sketch.
No. It's cool. It's a lot. It's better than I can do. So it's good. It's fantastic. Okay. Yes, you see this figure squat down, holding the thing up.
Okay.
Come.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Balamea. Come.
Gesundheit.
And starts heading off through the drains. As you drop down, you see the other guy that's pulling himself through is the guy that was in the cop's outfit. There's as this creature's trying to follow you through, and he's trying to push some of the earth back in, trying to hold them.
Wait, this is the guy I was fighting?
No, it's not the guy that he was fighting. He was the other vampire who grabbed that guy's legs.
Who was trying to help me? Okay.
Yeah, and that guy was the guy in the traffic cop's outfit.
Okay.
Can someone tell me what the hell is going on?
Don't. Just come on, dude. Start walking. I am going to pull out my lighter and see if I can see a little bit better.
You pull out your lighter, and you put it on, and then I'm going to need a courage roll from you.
Yes.
Give me a second. Let me just find the page for the rot trick. Well, maybe easier if I just look at the bloody.
Remember Police Academy 5?
Oh, vaguely. It's been a
Capricorn.
long.
Gemini.
Oh God. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. So it's difficulty of 3
That's it?
for this is the equivalent of a candle flame. So
Yeah,
yeah,
okay. I got 5 successes. Shoot.
you are fine, but you are fine. But there is it's instinctive. You feel like your insides churn, and you have to kind of go, ooh, and you're fine.
I wanted to get that out of the way. Be like, oh, okay. Good to know.
Fantastic. The cop god rolls 4 successes. That's cool. And Bellamea gets 2. So she kind of no light, no fire, no fire.
Okay.
Follow me. And you start heading through these sewers. You hear behind you. It sounds like one of the other creatures has made it into the sewers and is pursuing you. I will come back to you in a second. Who wants to go next? Clark, you've been nominated.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so you've left the safety of the crypt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where are you headed?
Back up against the wall, hands up against the wall, slinking away along a length, all the while
Mhm.
trying to keep all of my alertness. You said a while ago that I was hearing people
Yeah.
running around, and
Yeah, you can hear the sounds of gunfire.
mhm.
But again, I said it's all quite muted because of the fog,
Sure.
which is thick. And again, obviously, but the more you can see a few feet ahead of you. Yeah, there's a few tombstones. As if you hadn't already guessed, you are in a cemetery. Well, you knew, obviously, because of what we've just done.
Mhm.
Where would you like to go? You can't see more than at most 5 feet in front of you.
Sure. Yeah. Well, without any real sense of direction and not being familiar with this place, I don't want to run because I might trip over a tombstone or headstone or run into some type of monument. So I guess my best bet is to get low. I'll get
Mhm.
on the ground, and I will not crawl on my belly, but more like on all fours to keep a moderate pace, and at best try to go in a straight direction away from the crypt or structure I was in.
Away from the sounds of the fighting as well. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So give me so let's have a look. Dex plus stealth. Oh no, I think you should be fine. Well, Dex plus stealth. What have you got? That's going to be 5. You can do it without having to roll, but it's just a pass. If you want to do it better, then roll and see how you do. I'm only looking for a difficulty of 4 because of the actually no, maybe we can drop it to 3. 3 for heavy cover.
Well, I
So
mean, a pass sounds like what I want.
okay, no,
What's
that's not.
the advantage
It's not.
of going higher?
The advantage of going higher is that if anybody is looking for you, the more successes you get, the harder it's going to be for them to spot you. Just passing means you just pass.
All right, I
It's
guess let's try.
Yeah. So yep, Dex plus stealth, difficulty of 3.
All right, so I've got a 3 and a 10. I've got another 10 and another 3 and a 7.
Fantastic.
So
5 successes. So you are like a ninja as you're making your way through. You going for maybe a couple of minutes. Sometimes you have to kind of stop and move around. So as you kind of like you've come up to a line of headstones and you have to kind of find your way along and keep going. You're coming close. The further you're getting, you're finding that the fog is slowly thinning out. You're not sure. I mean, it's got to be pretty wide, this thing, because as I said, you've been traveling for a couple of minutes. Okay, you're going slowly because you're on all fours, but it's quite thick. But you feel like you're slowly starting to come to the edge of it.
All right. That gives me hope or confidence that
certainly the sounds of battle are further away from you and are dropping back into the distance. You've kind of just come to there's a headstone, and you've snuck up to it. There's like 2 this side, so 3 this side, and you just kind of deciding which way you want to go. The other side of the headstone, there's someone standing there.
Okay.
There's someone standing. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'll be still and to hope they didn't see me, and if I don't detect that if they don't show any obvious sign that they've spotted me, I want to shift to try and put something between me and them to give me cover.
They're the other side of the headstone to you. Behind you is the kind of open ground behind you that you've just crossed.
Well,
if you kind of glance up at them, it looks like they're standing, but they're looking away from you. You can just see the back of them.
Okay. I am going to try my luck and shift into the sprinter position since I was on all 4, and then boom, just try and book it.
Okay, so what, you kind of you vault over the headstones and try and run straight past them?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so give me Dex plus Athletics.
So 3 and 2 is 5. Okay. I've got a 10 and a 6. I've got a 2 and a 4. And a 9. So 3 successes?
3 successes. So you vault over the headstone, land, proper sprinter's pose, start running. As you start running, the figure that's kind of standing with its back, so you kind of this side of it, turns towards you, looks straight at you. It's a man in his 50s. He's wearing a grimy, dark-coloured suit with a very old-fashioned shirt underneath, with an old-fashioned removable fixed collar. With you spot there's like a little pearl clip that's holding the collar in place. His hair is short cropped, slightly curly. There's a sallowness to his complexion, and there's just an empty hollowness to his eyes. As he spins round and looks at you, you see his jaw just distends, and you hear this voice. It's not even like his mouth isn't moving, but you hear this kind of coming from deep in his throat, and you hear this, "Get out!" And he comes towards you as you run, and you run straight through him. You feel this, again, on top of everything else, this wave of cold as you run through him, and you can feel him turning behind you, going, "Get out!" world, as it's following you. The sound seems to follow you as you sprint off.
Well, I'm intending to do that, so I just gonna just okay.
I'm not going to ask for a code roll because you're already cheesing it, so that's fine.
Mhm.
You sprint for a good sort of 30 seconds. You maybe have to vault over like a couple of other
Mhm.
headstones as you do so. You arrive at a paved road. It's obviously within the cemetery.
Mhm.
You are out of the fog now, into the clear, crisp night air in the Bronx. You're still in the cemetery.
Mhm.
Standing as you do so, you see off to one side there's a guy who's just stepped out of a limousine, and he's talking on his cell phone. He kind of stops and looks at you. He's average height. From what you can see, I mean, this part is there's lighting to light the path here in this part of the cemetery. Wearing very expensive suit. He's got a long dark coat on. As I said, one hand is holding his phone. Steps out from behind the door of the car. In the other hand, he's holding a Tommy gun. He's, as I said, average height, very well made, very well kept. He seems to be quite well groomed. Short, sandy blonde hair, and he just kind of goes, "Hold on a second, I'll call you back." You all right there?
I mean, if he's got a freaking Tommy gun, and I was hearing gunfire
just-
earlier.
He's not pointing at you. He's just holding it. He just goes, "Are you okay there?"
I don't want any trouble, please. I'm just trying to get back home. I somehow got wound up here.
He takes a few steps towards you.
I'll take
Kind
a
of
couple
looking-
back.
Okay. So let me guess. You've had a very eventful evening, one that you weren't expecting.
Frankly, I'm not quite sure of anything. Earlier, did not seem like I had the ability to breathe. So this very well must be something I'm hallucinating, or they must have brought me under the influence of something. So please, I'm in no condition.
Well, you could say you're under the influence of something, yes. But I'm sorry to say you are not hallucinating. You can see him just kind of like looking you up and down. Kind of frowns slightly as he's looking at you, and you kind of get the impression he's looking at you, but he's also kind of looking like around you, if you like. And he looks a little bit confused. But then he looks you up and down and looks at the state of your clothes. You can see the mark of dried blood on your neck. What's your name?
My name is Ken. I do not mean to be rude, but I would really prefer to be on my way.
Ken, I don't think that's a particularly good idea, especially in your current state. Reaches into his pocket, pulls out a card, and starts walking closer to you. Very slowly.
Okay. If he seems to understand this situation, I will be very apprehensive, but I'll
Yeah, he reaches
hear
out
it.
and extends the card towards you. Follow those with the Tommy gun he gestures. Follow those lights over there. They'll take you through to a side gate out of the cemetery. Go east 1 block. You'll find a Costa. It's there's some friends of mine. Give them the card. They will look after you. Somebody will come for you. This is for your own good.
Well, seeing as how you have a powerful firearm at your disposal, I feel very compelled to take you on this offer.
Good man. Consider it sound legal advice.
Thank you, counsel.
Get on your way. Who's next? Yeah, Sam? Okay. So, yeah, you are, as I said, you're down behind this tombstone. You've got a smoke. Well, you've got a cigarette in your hand. Hasn't given you a lighter, though.
Oh, I took my lighter too.
I said they took your cigarettes. Let's have a look. How are you feeling? Odds or evens?
Odds.
Yeah, no, you've got your lighter.
Turn around. I flick my bic.
Okay, so I'm going to need a courage roll from you.
Courage.
Courage roll, difficulty 3. As you crack your lighter.
2 success.
Two successes. So, okay, again, you're fine. But again, this in something inside of you reflectively reacts against it.
Do I get
Laurie, huh?
Do I get the cigarette lit though?
Yes, you do. Laurie kind of looks at you and kind of flinches. Your sire, Hugh, kind of turns around and almost instinctively, just as you get it lit, batters the lighter out of your hands. No flames. Fucking idiot.
How am I supposed to light my cigarette?
It is. You did manage to get it light though.
Yeah. So well, that's what I said. If I can't use fire, how am I supposed to light this?
It's the weirdest sensation because it's like you're having to kind of breathe in twice to breathe it in because something's not right. Yeah, there's something not right with you. You know that much.
Like a resistance to it?
There's no breath in your lungs, so
It's resisting pulling anything
yeah,
in.
yeah. And as you do it, it doesn't taste of anything. You can feel the smoke inside of you. It goes in, but it just sits there in your lungs.
Blow a couple of rings.
You're having to almost like force your diaphragm to force it back out of your body, and it's all of the pleasurable experience that you remember of smoking. It's
Damn it. Well, I still feel like I need some nicotine.
you do, yes. Meanwhile, Laureate turns around to Hugh and just goes, "Fuck, man, Theo Bell, we need to get out of here." Yeah, all right, guys. Okay, I know what we do. You. He shrugs out of his jacket. Put that on.
Little tight.
As you're doing that, you see under the jacket, under his shirt, on one side, it's got a shoulder holster. She's got a Glock 22 in it. Slung under the other side, he's got a Mac 10. pulls out the Glock, hands it to Laureate, cocks the MAC-10. Right, this is what we're going to do. When I tell you, you're going to run that way. Okay? Now, you're from me. Therefore, if you try really hard, you can make people notice you.
If I try really hard, I can make people notice me.
Yeah. Laurie goes, yeah, last night when you came up and said hello to us in the car park or over at the playground?
Yeah.
You remember? Yeah. You couldn't stop looking at me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. You can do that.
Okay. How?
Just think. Notice me. Look at me.
All right. So I'm going to jump up and see here. I'm going to go for the run.
Okay. Let me just
Yeah, I'm looking. Charisma plus acting. Difficulty.
Yep. You've got it. Lovely. So instead of acting, because that's from this book, we're using the later versions. So it's going to be charisma plus expression.
Oh, okay.
Anytime for anybody who's disciplines, say acting, it's not going to be. It's going to be expression instead, because that's from the revised rules.
No, I don't have expression, so
it'll be just your charisma then. Difficulty 7. Give it a whirl.
2 successes.
Fantastic. You start running. There's a peal of machine gun fire deliberately over your head. From out of the fog, you can hear voices, and now you can see where you are in the fog. Ahead of you, there is almost like a semicircular wall of absolute blackness. From somewhere off to your left, you hear muffled voices, feet running in your direction. If you glance back, you see the other two cutting out the other way. As they do so, there's again this sound of beating wings, and you see very briefly what looks like it looks like a man made of stone swoop down, grabs hold of Laureate, and off into the night. He goes, "Oh fuck!" as he disappears, and you see your sire disappear off into the fog.
Did they just chicken shit out? So the thing's not after me, right?
Thing's not after you, but you're running ahead. You see, as I said, you see some lights moving towards you through the fog, and you are on your own. Over here! I thought I heard one over here. Come on!
All right. I'm going to move as quick as I can if they're shooting at me, especially.
You'd think what happened was Hugh shot over your head to alert them to your presence, and so they're heading for you.
Oh, so he put them after me. I guess I am his bitch. So the people after me are not the ones shooting at me?
No, but you are now aware of feet moving in your direction.
Hell, I'm going to get the hell away from them.
Okay, so split off into another direction or a completely different direction?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have athletics. No, let's have So what are you doing? Are you just flat out running? Are you trying to be stealthy? I mean, obviously, I know you are moving quickly, but are you trying to conceal yourself as you do so?
Yeah, because I want to kind of want to try and disappear somewhere, you know.
Okay. Yeah, let's have a Dex plus stealth, please. If you have any stealth.
No.
No, you don't. Okay. You don't have any athletics either. So yeah, so it will be just your Dex then, please. We are going to lower the difficulty because you are obviously out in the fog. The fog here is quite thick. You're still close to the epicenter of where all of this is taking place. So it is going to be, what did I do earlier? It was difficulty 3 earlier, wasn't it? Yeah. Was
3.
it 3 or 4? I can't remember. What did I say earlier? Was it 4?
It was 3 for the last roll I did.
It was. Okay. So yeah, we'll keep it at 3. Sorry.
Low expectation. 2 successes.
Okay. So you move swiftly but stealthily off through the grass. You go through some. You pass a couple of rows of headstones, and you seem to be moving into an area that's predominantly crypts and mausoleums. So there's plenty of things to hide behind. Behind you, it sounds like the people, whoever they are, have reached where you were. Well, the shooting definitely came from over here. But obviously, the further away you get, the more muffled the voices become. And you can hear, well, spread out, have a look around. Hang on. I think there might be some tracks here. And we'll move to Karis. You're in the dark. So you're still in this area of inky darkness.
You said there was one guy grabbing at my feet, and then the other
There was one guy grabbing at your feet. There's only the two.
No,
there's only the.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So there's only the two of you that you know of, yeah. But there's somebody grappling at your feet, trying to pull you towards them.
All right. Now, are they trying to like wrap around my ankles or just one of my feet?
It's like they're trying to crawl, like drag themselves up along your body, if you like, and drag you closer to them at the same time.
All right. So, am I standing or am I prone?
You're still I imagine you're prone, but you've kind of backed up a little bit because of the shock of what happened. So you're probably, your legs are in front of you, but you're sort of still sat on the ground.
So so I just feel the dirt around me, and then something trying to crawl up my lap kind of deal.
Yeah.
Can I try and punch it in its head as I'm trying to back up, do like the Tom and Jerry back scoot?
You certainly can. Is there anything else you might want to instinctively try to do? Hint, hint.
Well, I was gonna ask. Well, originally, if I was standing, I was gonna see if I could feel a headstone and just flip the headstone on top of whatever was at my feet. But if I'm still in like the grave, so the mass grave, then he's probably gonna try and like. Either way, I'm gonna try and like do like the SWAT to keep it away as I'm backing away type of deal.
Okay, I will ask again. Is there anything else you might like to try instinctively? Well, there's
like Wolverine it, snicked.
well, that's not the only thing that you have.
Try and see if I can see what I'm looking at. What's trying to climb up on top of me. I guess. All right. So I guess in my mind, I'm trying to focus in as I'm backing away. Like what?
So trying to kind of perceive something in this absolute darkness.
Where am I? Am I in a grave? Are there bodies around me? Am I just on my own around my dirt?
Yeah, and almost like that, Did we say is it violet? Did you say?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. You can just about see. I mean, literally just about. Again, you can probably see about 5 feet in front of you through this unnatural darkness. But you see your forearms are bathed in this soft violet light. You can see your body, and you can see this thing that's crawling up you. It's the 70-year-old granny. Lost her dentures, so there are just 2 fangs sticking out of her gums.
Look at it, massacre my boy.
completely wild look in her eyes, and she's trying to drag up her to try and get at you.
So is there any so I might are there any is there anything else around me that I could kind of use as a blunt to like smack it, or I'm basically in my mind I'm trying to pull on zombie movie knowledge because his occult lore is so high. So anything that's gonna do blunt force trauma to her head is what I'm gonna attempt to do. So whether it's a rock or another body's skull, something that I can smash into her head. I don't have a problem using another person as a meat shield. Or
Yeah. Okay. We'll say there's. We'll say there's a rock is in amongst like the earth. Your hand kind of just lands on it. As you do so, you think you feel the body of the guy who had his head ripped off as well, sort of not far away.
Okay.
That's probably the blood that you could smell.
Okay.
But yes, you find a rock in amongst all of the soil that you can
I don't
grab
even have a problem using his head to smack it into her head. I just whatever I can find. It's gonna have enough momentum.
I think I did say that Hugh threw it into the grave, but we'll just change reality slightly. That his head is lying there, so you can grab that by the hair and twat her with it. Okay. Yep. So you can see well enough to do this. I actually made the difficulty too low earlier, but I mean, it's going to be melee. I'm still going to make it a 7. But yeah, so you're using a weapon, so it's going to be dex plus melee if you've got anything in melee.
So no, so just two dice.
Okay.
You said I gotta get 7s.
Gotta get
What's the rule? I can use a blood point to get an automatic success.
No, you can use a willpower point to get an automatic success. You can use a blood point to increase one of your physical stats for the rest of the scene.
Okay. And it's like a 1-for-1 increase?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to use a blood point to bring the dex up since that's the only thing I'm rolling against.
Fantastic.
Okay. So at least gives me 3 dice instead of just 2.
3 dice? Oh, yeah. All
right, and you said I got to get 7s, right?
Gotta get 7s, yeah.
Okay, I only got 1 success.
1 success is enough to hit. So make that a strength plus 1 for using a weapon.
Okay. Same challenge rating, 7s?
6 for damage.
Okay, so then I didn't. Then I didn't. I rolled a 5. I rolled a 5. So that.
Yeah, no. So you connect. You do hit, but it's a glancing blow. It doesn't do any damage.
Okay.
She tries to grapple you. Okay, how am I going to do this?
Making love to the undead grandma.
Okay, she tries to leap at you and grapple you, and I botched. She flies straight past you. You're aware of a sound as she kind of hits the ground and rolls, and what you don't see is that she rolls straight into the open grave and goes, "Wah!" and hits the ground. Whatever is down there, you can't hear this because of the unnatural darkness because it mutes sound. But whatever is down there, meal.
And it's at least 6 feet away from me. So
It's away 6 feet down away from you.
Yeah.
You are clear.
Okay. Still looking around as best as I can. Is there what basically just like you were describing to everybody else, just tombstones and mausoleums off in the distance, or just is it too foggy for that?
It's, as I said, you can see about 5 feet. You kind of stagger your way across.
Mhm.
Ahead of you, you think you can make out just through the darkness the very front of the school bus, and as you reach up, you can, as you kind of touch it, kind of walk around one side of it as if like if you're going to head for the door, you come out of the darkness. It's like but as you come out of it, it's like pulling yourself out of a bath. It wants to hold on to you, and there's wisps and tendrils of it extending beyond the actual circumference of it, and you can feel it almost kind of wanting to pull you back into it as you kind of force your way out.
But the bus was the physical boundary of this supernatural effect.
It looks like where the bus is parked, it's kind of at the very edge of where this zone of darkness is, and just the front of it was poking into it. But it was enough with your vision that you can see it to get hold of it and pull your way out.
All right, so the bus, I'm going to assume, came here along a path or a small road in the cemetery. I'm going to run, try and make a break for for it up the path.
1 moment.
That's a man's glass.
I need it. I keep getting really bad dry throat, which is terrible.
I'm just bad. That's why I'm.
Fantastic. So the other thing that you hear, obviously, when you come out of this is, again, you remember the wall of fog that's a bit further away. Now you as well can hear the sounds of gunfire. You hear the report of a machine gun somewhere off in the distance. You can hear voices. You start running.
Well, let me ask you this: was I able to see Rock Boy picking up Hugh or the guy that was with Sam here? Okay.
You can't see. You didn't see any of that.
But I remember him being on top of this bus. Somebody being on this top of this bus being picked up.
You remember that? Yes, you definitely saw that. Somebody was plucked off the top of the bus. Yeah.
All right, so I want to get as far away from the bus as possible, but also being aware if I hear anything or looking up as I'm running to see if I sense any anything moving through the sky. But I'm also gonna I'm gonna turn my night vision off because you said it makes an audible glow. And then see if my eyes, if it's bright enough for me to be able to see like normally.
So the first thing you know, thank you for reminding me. That's the other thing you see when you come out of the zone of darkness. You can see like it's daylight.
Okay.
The moment that you switch off your eyes of the night, it's back to like looking like you're looking around at night. So your vision is definitely better with it, but yeah, you probably catch yourself in the window in the bus, even though it's blacked out, and you can see
it's
the
glowing.
glow of
Yeah. I don't want that. I want to try and zigzag as best as I can. Running a serpentine.
So
bob and weave.
So as you turn and you start choosing it, you are conscious of a movement behind you. And there's like a slight movement from the bus, and something lands on the ground behind you. And what lands on the ground behind you, if you glance back, is a poodle. A poodle about 4 foot high at the shoulder.
Wow.
Dirty, mangy, white fur. its muzzle is long and distended, and as it bares its teeth, it doesn't have canines. All of its teeth seem to have been sharp down to incisors. You see, as it stands there, its ears. Actually, no, I'll come back to that in a minute. You kind of hear this kind of drumming, and as you watch where its paws are, from its paws, like almost creak and twist and extend almost into almost like rudimentary fingers, and start clacking on the ground.
Shape changing motherfucker.
And where its ears are, it's kind of like starts shaking its head, and on either ear you see what looks like a mouth crack open on each ear, and as it's shaking its head, each one is going ha 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 ha, and then it raises its tail, which is thick and sinuous, and what looks like a long metal spike has been flesh crafted into the tail.
Bastards.
And it starts chasing you.
Do I have any of the stuff that I had with me when I was exploring the offices?
What most of your stuff would have been taken. What is it specifically you want to have?
I'm just curious. Like I had like the little flashlight that I had and camera. Any of that stuff was probably taken.
Camera definitely
because I had a lighter too when I went and explored the.
Certainly, anything of value they would have taken off you. Let's have a look. I've done the same for everybody else. So for your flashlight, odds or evens?
Odds.
You still have your flashlight. For your lighter, odds or evens?
Evens.
You don't have your lighter.
Okay. He said this thing now has a metal spiky tail, and it has two mouths where it used to have ears.
Yeah, it's like the ears sort of split across almost all the way through. So you've got the bottom part hanging, and as it's jangling, these things are going ha 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 ha, ha as it's charging after you. And I'm going to call it there.
Yeah, I'll have to think for a second. It'll give me a chance to think.
Is there anything before I call it? Is there anything anybody else would like to do?
Okay. Let me. So you mean call it for the session, or
Call it for the session? We're just over 2 hours. I mean,
right.
I can keep going if people want, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna initiate combat if we're calling it at the 2 hour thing. I won't do that. But I do have a question.
Yeah, go.
I'm trying to think how to word this. So would I be able to mimicking, what I did with my night vision? Again, trying to fall back on at least cinematically what I think of what I assume I am now. Can I make my claws come out?
Let's have a look. Hold on a second.
Because there's, certainly at least a lot of movie references that I can make that show the nails getting longer, and because clearly I'm not something normal anymore.
Well, your occult is very good. Your intelligence is pretty good.
And his specialty is vampires.
And his specialty is vampires. Yes, I think that is. Yeah, there's enough there for you to have assumed that you've kind of figured what's happened to you, and that it's plausible that. Again, how you're actually going to do it, we'll see. But it's plausible that you realize that you know what you are, or what's happening.
Like whether it's just trying to just reach out with my hands to see if I can get the something offensive other than just my fists to elongate. Like I just watched this creature stretch and mold, and is that something that I can do to manipulate myself? I don't know.
Fantastic. Cool. Bill, any last things you'd like to do before we? Cool. Sam, Derek, you good? Okay. Clark, any last things before we close? Fantastic. In which case, thank you for joining us for this session 1, and we will be back same bat time, same bat channel for episode 2 of our New York by Night Chronicle, which is going to be called Orphans in the Dark.